seeing a very different dynamic play out, as we are with other refugee groups within Europe.
The black people aren't allowed to go.
The 3.5 million people fleeing Ukraine since the war began, Canada has made promises to host an unlimited number of displaced Ukrainians.
Unlimited?
3 years. 1 month into the conflict,
3 years
it's
again.
unclear, though, just how many have arrived. Hillary Johnstone is on that part of the story. She joins us from Ottawa. Hillary, thanks so much for joining us. What do you know about Canada's efforts to help Ukrainians resettle here?
Good morning, John. Well, this morning what we're hearing from officials is that since January 1st, so of course that is before the war began, more than 10,000 Ukrainians have come to Canada. We're still waiting for an updated figure of exactly how many have come since that conflict began. But as you were mentioning, Canada has offered to host an unlimited number of Ukrainians as temporary residents for a period of up to 3 years. So they can apply for a free visitor visa. Once they come here, they can apply for work permits, study permits. Kids can enroll in elementary and high schools. This effort to try and make sure that Ukrainians have some sort of stability here in Canada for a temporary period until it is safe for them to return to their country. And of course, we know that the need for this is huge. This morning, the latest number from the United Nations is that 3.6 million Ukrainians have fled their country since the fighting began a month ago today. So back on February the 24th. For the most part, they have gone to Poland. More than 2 million have gone to Poland. After that, Romania, more than 500,000. And after that, Moldova and Hungary. So just a huge need, John, of all of these Ukrainians who've had to flee their country looking for a safe place to go.
More than 20,000 Ukrainians have arrived in Ireland. The majority are staying in hotels and B&Bs.
Okay, so as you can hear, more than 20,000 have already come into Ireland. But as they have stated as of yesterday, an unlimited amount are to be coming in, which will be more than 200,000.
But focus is now turning to the longer-term accommodation situation. Today, the Minister for Housing convened a meeting of industry stakeholders.
We need to look at other measures which I've been doing already about, how we will accommodate, an unprecedented number of people who come into our country over the medium and long term, whilst continuing to ensure that housing for all is protected.
Okay, this is a country, Ireland, with a housing crisis that has been ongoing for a long, long time. Over 10,000 homeless people on the streets in Ireland. Property prices artificially inflated and rents that are sky high, with younger people finding it impossible to leave home. He said Housing for All, which was an initiative set up late last year to build houses. Makes me wonder who this was set up for, the people of Ireland, or did they foresee this huge influx of immigrants? Housing crisis for decades, but within months of setting this scheme up, we have this situation occur.
Many of the measures discussed today are already contained in the government's Housing for All strategy, leading to questions from some as to why this additional capacity hasn't already been utilised.
Yeah, that's the big question, isn't it? You have all of these government lackeys all of a sudden running around like blue-ass flies, spending money, building properties. It's of the utmost importance. It's imperative we spend money and fix this problem now. And the question is, why did you not do it before for the people of Ireland, who have had a housing crisis for years and years? For the homeless, why not do it before? Will we get an answer?
Of course that raises the question of why didn't you do it before, but I don't think now is the time to be churlish about that. What it is to get behind what's being said and to make sure that what's being promised here is genuinely delivered.
Oh, okay. In other words, not going to answer that question. And if you do, this clown reckons you are being churlish for asking that question. In other words, he considers it a rude question. And it's not the time to ask that question because, well, the answer, what is the answer? Well, they have no answer. The answer is they could have done it before, but they couldn't be bothered to spend the money. Obviously not too bothered for the people of Ireland, but for the refugees of Ukraine, they will move heaven and earth.
So you're seeing that these refugees are given a kind of artificially high importance over local people, and it's only certain Ukrainian refugees that are being allowed out, not the black ones.